This is Amud Yomi Gemara in Shabbos, Daf Samach Tes Amud Bees. And we're holding the very top of Daf Samach Tes Amud Bees. The Gemara is going to begin with the Kasha on Abaya. Let's just remind ourselves, what did Abaye say? So the bottom of Samach Tes Amud Aleph, about 8 lines to the bottom, Abaye taught us that Akol Maidim B'Shvuas Bitoy She'ein Chayavim Aleim Karban Ad Sheyishkoig Belav Sheba, that the carbon comes when there's a shoygeg in its lav Sheba. So says the Gemara Meisvei, is Oshigashvuas Bitoy L'Shavar. Says the Brisa, what's a Shvuas Bitoy L'Shavar? Shemam Yedeni Shvuas Asura. He knows it's also to make the Shvua. He just doesn't know if you have a carbon. Chayiv. I actually think we learned this last kasha. Okay, Chazar never hurts. Says the answers the Gemara, the classical taretz. Hamani munbaz. Munbaz, the sheet that holds a year potter. Lishnachrina. Now, Allah their Lashi comes along, and there's no way to answer up for Rabbi. Mani. Ilay munbaz pshit. Hashem cholakar kula delav chidisho. Amshigis karugan shemal shaga. Hachad chidishu lokal shkein. So then what are you going to tell me? Is there Rabbanan? But if it's the Rabbanon, Elav Rabbanon. But if it's the Rabbanon, then what's the Nekuda? Tiyufta de Abayo Tiyufta. So this is what we're really up to. The two dots. The Omar Abaye comes along Abaye Komodim Truma. Everyone is made with regard to Truma. What do you mean Truma? An Isser of Truma, meaning Truma being eaten by a Yisrael. Everyone is maida that there's no chiyav chaimish ad, similar to Abaye. This is Abaye talking just a further application of his din. Sheyishkoig bilav sheba. The shogi has to be within its lav. Says the Gemara, hakol maidim man. What does it mean, hakol maidim? Who does that come to include? Rav Yochanan comes to include Rav Yochanan. Rav Yochanan taught us that if someone is a shoygeg, even if he's a shoygeg but he doesn't know anything about the kares, so too says the Gemara, Yisrael, that each truma Rav Yochanan is going to hold that he's chayiv an extra chaimesh. Why is he going to, he's not going to be chayiv an extra chaimesh until when it's a shoygeg b'lav sheba. Lav sheba, it's lav, then it's going to be a chiyav chaimish. Similar to Rav Yochanan holding that this shoygig has to do with its own lav. Says the Gemara, of course, pshita. Kia amar Rav Yochanan, hey chadika karis. When there's karis, that's when Rav Yochanan says that you have to know about the karis. Hey chadalaka karis lie. So it's pashit. Of course, Rav Yochanan would hold that the chaimish is going to come hand in hand together with the Shigya Bilav Sheba. Says the Gemara, there's no karis, but there's Misa, and therefore then we would have thought that the Shoygeg, that how do you translate the Shoygeg of a karis into the Shoygeg of a Misa? You would have thought you have to have a Shoygeg in the Misa. So on that, Kamashlan Abaye, then no, that is not a shoygeg in the Misa, but rather it's still shoygeg Bilav Sheba because there is no kares. Rava Amar, and he argues, and Rava says, just like the Hava Amina, Misa be'makam kares ha'medes, v'chaimesh be'makam carbon. And in the case that you'd bring a carbon, similarly you'd have to pay the extra chaimesh. Continues the Gemara, taking on a new topic. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Huna. We're smack in the middle of the Amid, two dots. First word on the line is V'chaimesh. Amar Rav Huna yimhalech b'derech b'midbar. If someone is walking on the road or in the desert, and he does not know a famous Gemara. Emasei Shabbos, when is Shabbos? What does he do? Manishishiyamim. He counts 6 days from that day, whatever day it is. He doesn't know what day it is, so from then he counts 6 days. Umishamer yoyim acher, and the next day he guards the Shabbos. Chia bar Rav Amar, Mishamer Yom Echad Umayne Shisha. No, first the first time you remember, you don't know. Oh boy, when is Shabbos? So that day you're Shomer at Shabbos, and then you count 6 more days. So says the Gemara, what exactly is this machlokes? B'may kamifli. Mar savar avun holds kibriyasa shalaylam. Like the creation of the world, at first there's 6 days of work, and then comes Shabbos. Umar savar chibar holds no ki adam arishayin. That Adam Rishon was created on Erev Shabbos, and the next day, boom, it's Shabbos right away. So to this person that remembers he doesn't know when it's Shabbos, what does he do? He does Shabbos the first day, and then he waits the 6 days. Asks the Gemara Chia Barav Meisvei, says the Braisa, he watches one day as Shabbos for every 6 days. So my love, does this not mean like Rav Huna, Moine Shisha Misham Yom Echad? So classic in the Gemara says no. Chiyabar Rav will answer lo Misham Yom Echad Moine Shisha. If that's the case, ask the Gemara Misham Yom Echad L'Shisha. Why does it, instead of saying Mishamer Yom Echad L'Shisha, what should have said Mishamer Yom Echad Umayne Shisha Mibayulei? V'itanya. And furthermore, we have another brayso. I'm halu b'derech b'midbar. V'ini yudei mazay Shabbos mayne shisha. And this brayso is explicit. Mayne shisha mishamer yoyim echad. Says the Gemara. Tiyofta dechia barav. Tiyofta. Amar Rava. Continues the Gemara. Let's go a little bit deeper into this case. On each and every day of the 6 days, the 6 days that he's working before the Shabbos, he only works enough. It doesn't mean it's mamish chol. It means he has to be alive. He has to have food. So he works enough to stay alive. Except for that day, which is Shabbos, doesn't work at all. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara, no. On Friday, he works for 2 days. How's he allowed to do that? Maybe that day was Shabbos. Say that'll work double. Even on the day that you're saying Shabbos, he's making Kiddush. Still, he works. Why? Because his whole heter over here doesn't know what day Shabbos is. It's a kadas tafashais. He has to have what to eat. Says Gemara, as we just said, how do you know Shabbos v'kiddusha? They have delta. Says the Gemara, a little bit deeper about. So in Lost in the Desert, 3 lines from the white lines, teaches Rava. Mayamakir makes us a yoim shiyata, but if he knows partially on what day he left, he knows, for example, how many days he left ago. He just doesn't know what day of the week it was. He does malacha on that entire day. Says the Gemara, because he knows for sure the day he left wasn't Shabbos. Says Mershkayach Pshita, of course, what's the Chiddush? Mao the day making the Shabbos Lenafik, since he did not leave on Shabbos. If he remembers he didn't leave on Shabbos, it should also be that he remembers he didn't leave on Friday. Either he left on Thursday. So he was allowed to be malacha for 2 days. The Chiddush of Rava is in the Mishach Sheyarta. There are times that maybe the only flight out, the only Sheyarta, the only caravan is Umikri v'Nafak. Therefore, it is possible that he did leave on a Friday. And therefore, only on that day is he allowed to work, as he knows for sure it's not the day that he left. It's not Shabbos. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata Dishmaya.